If you do not drink enough water while you are pregnant, your baby will be born dirty. Now, with stating this myth, I fully expect some nurses, midwives, and other people who are in the healthcare line to come for me. A lot of research has gone into this, as previously mentioned, and there is no correlation, there's no connection that has been made. Now, does that mean that future research will not disprove this current video? I don't know, but as for right now, while I am filming this, there's no research supporting the fact that Hello moms and dads, and welcome back to Nurse Onyi Teaches. My name is Onyi. If this is your first time here, you are most welcome. Make sure you look around, as you will find many topics that have already been addressed, covering a lot of needs that moms experience during their pregnancy. A lot of childcare needs have already been covered, and some things that you may need in the postpartum period. Also, do not fail to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell, because that is how you are made aware of every time I upload a new video. Now, in a previous video, I covered some of the weird pregnancy myths and superstitions that many women have encountered, and a lot of you gave me good feedback about it, and so many people made a lot of new suggestions. So in today's video, I will be covering even more pregnancy myths, and some of them you will be very surprised at the outcome. So make sure you get comfortable, relax, and we'll jump right into today's video. I forgot to mention that these videos should not be used as self-diagnostic tools. Make sure that you are working very closely with a health provider who knows your health history. So let's jump right into today's video. Myth number 1. If you look at an ugly animal while you are pregnant, your baby is going to come out looking like this animal. And I'm sorry, I cannot say this without laughing, because this is truly funny to me. Listen, this one is completely false. The only people you need to worry about when you are pregnant is who you are having this child with, so the father of the child, and you may also need to consider some of the relatives that are in the gene pool. But there is no way that looking at an animal will change the face of your baby. That one is definitely false. Now, myth number 2 is something that a lot of women have reached out to me about, so I just want to put it to rest here. And that is that your baby's gender can change during the course of your pregnancy. That is completely false. The moment sperm meets egg and they unite together to form that zygote that will eventually become your baby's gender is determined right then and there, even before you become pregnant, because conception is when they meet. Pregnancy is when that conceived little zygote implants into the uterus and begins to grow. From the moment you conceive that child, your baby's gender is already predetermined by your genetics. So there is no way that your baby can be 6 weeks old and decide, I don't want to be a girl anymore, I want to be a boy. That is completely false. Myth number 3, your baby can be spoiled if you rub your stomach too much while you are pregnant. Now, this one has a little bit of research behind it, because scientists have discovered that rubbing your stomach, especially once you start getting out of that first trimester, that your baby begins to respond to that touch. Now, your baby responding to touch and your baby being spoiled are two very different things. And if you are going to have a child, make sure that you give your baby as much love as possible. I even recommend for moms to talk to their babies while their child is in the womb, because your baby can hear your voice. Get your partner talking to your baby. This helps to increase that connection that you build with your child, so that when your baby is born, he or she readily identifies you and that bonding period can begin. So this may have a little bit of research backing it, but it is definitely a myth that a baby can be born spoiled because mom rubs her belly too much. Myth number 4, eating spicy or peppery foods while pregnant will cause your baby to be born blind. This one is 1000% false. There is no correlation between the level of spice in your food and your child's eyesight. Now, keep in mind that eating too much spice while you are pregnant does increase the chances of you dealing with indigestion and heartburn, and it also increases the likelihood that you will deal with diarrhea. So keep the spice in check. Eat nutritionally balanced food, but if you want a little bit of spicy food, because that helps you, especially moms who deal with nausea, to deal with that nausea and keep you from vomiting, then go ahead. Talk to your doctor though, because you don't want to complicate your pregnancy. Myth number 5. Now, with stating this myth, I fully expect some nurses, midwives, and other people who are in the healthcare line to come for me. But there is no backing for myth number 5, and that is that a full moon leads to the increase of births and labor in moms. A lot of research has gone into this, as previously mentioned, and there is no correlation, there's no connection that has been made. Now, does that mean that future research will not disprove this current video? I don't know, but as for right now, while I am filming this, there's no research supporting the fact that a full moon controls laboring or the birth of more babies. So nurses, relax. If the babies show up, it's just because that was their time to be born, not because there's a full moon hanging outside of the hospital. Myth number 6, if you do not drink enough water while you are pregnant, your baby will be born dirty. This myth is just that, a myth. It is not true at all. Babies are normally born covered in something known as vernix caseosa, and that's something that's white and cheesy all around them. That has nothing to do with the amount of water mom drinks. As a matter of fact, that is a protective mechanism for your baby, and that serves to also lubricate your baby's skin. When he or she is born, they will be wiped off. A lot of babies are born covered in this cheesy substance, and does not mean that mom did not drink enough water. So this one is definitely false. Now, last but certainly not least, myth number 7 is that the heart rate of a baby can determine the baby's gender. Now, a lot of healthcare providers, a lot of moms, and even myself before I researched this would have told you that this one is completely true, but the research indicates that this one is 100% false. A baby that is developing in the womb, his or her heart rate can vary for so many different reasons, and that includes the baby's current activity. For example, if a baby is awake and moving around, its heart rate is going to go up. Whereas if your baby is sleeping and relaxing, then that heart rate will slow down and temper off. Also, when a mom eats, the activity that and her movement can change the baby's heart rate because the child is responding to its mother's own activities, and that can definitely affect your baby's heart rate. Keep in mind that it may be necessary for you to do an ultrasound to determine your baby's gender, and even then, even the best eyes have been fooled, because a lot of baby boys have been born as girls, and a lot of baby girls that parents were expecting have come out very much baby boys. Now, if you have learned something new in the content of this video, do not forget to give this video a huge thumbs up and share it with somebody who you feel can benefit from learning or debunking a lot of these myths. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button and come along with me as we build a community of empowered learners who can adequately advocate for themselves in their healthcare. I wish you a happy, healthy pregnancy, and until the next time, be blessed.